In 2014, your phone provider knew exactly where you were, yet a 300-ton airliner carrying 239 people evaporated into thin air. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. The Boeing 777 climbed to its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet without a single mechanical warning. At 1:19 a.m., as the aircraft approached navigational waypoint Agari over the South China Sea, the cockpit radioed a standard sign-off, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Exactly 1 minute later, the aircraft's icon dropped off the screens of civilian air traffic controllers. No distress call was made. Erasing a modern airliner from the map requires the simultaneous failure of 3 distinct layers of global surveillance. First, the technological, second, the institutional, and third, the geographic. The first blind spot was man-made. Within seconds of passing that final waypoint, the plane's secondary surveillance radar, the transponder broadcasting its altitude and identity to the ground, went dark. Almost immediately, primary communication channels were cut. The VHF radio, HF radio, and digital ACARs were sequentially disconnected. Digitally silenced, the aircraft banked into a sharp left turn. Flight simulations later proved the inclination of this turn was too steep for standard autopilot to execute. Malaysian accident investigators found zero evidence of a cascading mechanical failure that could selectively disable these communication systems while keeping the plane airborne. Their final report concluded the deviation likely resulted from manual inputs. The cockpit was engineered under the assumption that a pilot would always want to be found. That architecture allowed someone with precise knowledge to systematically sever the plane's digital tether to the ground. Even with its civilian transponder off, the physical mass of the Boeing 777 was still bouncing radar waves back to Malaysian military air defense networks. Radar operators on the ground watched the solitary blip track back across the Malay Peninsula. Because the aircraft exhibited steady flight characteristics and followed established navigational routes, the military classified it as a friendly contact. They did not launch a single interceptor jet. Meanwhile, civilian air traffic control was frozen by confusion. When Flight 370 failed to check in with Ho Chi Minh airspace, Vietnamese controllers waited nearly 20 minutes before alerting their counterparts in Kuala Lumpur. Rather than immediately triggering emergency rescue protocols, personnel on the ground spend hours relying on inaccurate position data provided by airline operations, assuming the flight was still safely en route. By the time search and rescue operations were activated at 5:30 a.m., Flight 370 had already flown beyond the extreme limits of military radar coverage. Bureaucratic hesitation provided the exact window of time needed to escape unchallenged. The only reason we know the plane didn't crash in the South China Sea is because of a single piece of hardware. 3 minutes after vanishing from military radar, the aircraft's satellite data unit rebooted, logging back onto an Inmarsat satellite over the Indian Ocean to send automated hourly handshakes. These pings contained no GPS coordinates. Instead, analysts used the burst timing offset to measure the distance between the satellite and the plane, and the burst frequency offset to measure the Doppler effect of the signal. The math traced a path straight south. This satellite map shows the vast distance from Perth, Australia, to the designated search zones in the deep ocean. The data indicates the aircraft flew on autopilot for nearly 7 hours until its fuel tanks ran dry, sending it into these remote waters. Oceanographers have mapped reverse drift models using recovered debris, and independent researchers have analyzed global WSPR radio signal anomalies, acting as invisible tripwires. Yet the exact location of the fuselage remains undiscovered. Mathematical models can only narrow the haystack. The extreme depth, pitch-black trenches, and rugged underwater mountain ranges of the southern Indian Ocean formed a geographic void that swallowed the remaining evidence. Over the years, pieces of a flaperon and cabin interior have washed ashore on remote islands and the coast of Africa. But without the flight data recorders, the final moments on board remain theoretical. The FBI conducted a forensic reconstruction of the captain's home flight simulator and found a deleted session from a month prior. The data points plotted a course out of Kuala Lumpur, south of Penang, and directly into the Indian Ocean. Despite these simulated flight coordinates, The 1,500-page final report stated they were unable to determine the exact cause for the diversion, nor could they definitively prove who was manipulating the controls. The disaster exposed massive vulnerabilities in commercial flight. The International Civil Aviation Organization responded by mandating that aircraft in distress autonomously transmit their position every minute, and extended the required battery life for underwater locator beacons from 30 to 90 days. The tracking systems of 2014 were built on a foundation of trust, the assumption that a pilot would always seek to remain visible. Flight 370 exposed this vulnerability, forcing the industry to shift toward a system where aircraft must broadcast their position autonomously, regardless of cockpit input.